All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Rogan Keller. I'm a senior solutions architect with AWS, been with AWS for the past 5 years, based out of Chicagoland area, and I am dedicated to the Autodesk account, working here with James, and I've been doing that since the start of this year. Go ahead, James.
Hey everybody, I'm James Candabo. I'm from the Bay Area and I've worked at Autodesk for the last 3.5 years as a senior manager. I lead the secure posture management team, which is made up of vulnerability and configuration management, and we support product teams with their infrastructure. Recently, we've also begun working towards standardizing our malware scanning solution across our products, which brought Rogan and I here today. When my team started looking for tools that could help us identify and block malware across our products, GuardDuty quickly climbed to the top of our list. AWS publicly announced malware protection for S3 on their blog last June, and then we inquired about it with our AWS team shortly after that. And because Autodesk builds our products on AWS already, the service is very straightforward to implement and scale compared to any of the others that require additional setup and maintenance. And then one last thing, our legal team asked me to add, any of all my statements and opinions through the presentation are my own, don't represent the views of Autodesk.
All right. Thanks, James. So a quick rundown of our agenda today. I'm going to give you a quick overview of Amazon GuardDuty. Not going to spend too much time on it because the focus here is not to really talk to you about GuardDuty itself or sell you on the concepts there, but we'll talk about the results and benefits that we reap from the project and what we did here together. Talk about the implementation approach for Autodesk, the operational insights that we've gained as a result of that, and all wrapped up with some best practices for leveraging GuardDuty from the perspective of the project that we have here before we end with questions. Ready to go, James?
Yeah.
All right. So Amazon GuardDuty. It serves as the foundation for Autodesk cloud security strategy and what we've done here, providing a fully managed malware scanning that incorporates seamlessly with the existing AWS infrastructure that Autodesk was already using. What makes it particularly valuable to Autodesk and its needs is the comprehensive threat intelligence network and zero infrastructure management requirements that it had. That allowed us to focus more on the specific and unique requirements, knowing that we really had the rest of these areas covered for us. So while GuardDuty provides the robust malware protection capabilities, that coverage allows Autodesk to consider additional components, such as link detonation, as an extension. That's more of what we're going to be diving into today. And that led us to develop a hybrid approach to what we were doing that leverages GuardDuty and its core strengths while extending that functionality where needed.
Yeah, so let's discuss the benefits of this enhanced security solution using Amazon GuardDuty as the foundation. First and foremost, we've significantly improved our overall threat detection capabilities. By leveraging GuardDuty's managed malware scanning service and supplementing it with custom components for verification, we've created a more comprehensive security net. And this hybrid approach will allow us to catch a wider range of potential threats, from malware to suspicious links embedded in files.
Yeah. Secondly, the solution allows us to efficiently manage our growing cloud footprint at Autodesk. As a fully managed service, it scales automatically with the AWS infrastructure, and it requires no additional overhead coming from the team at Autodesk in order to do that. That scalability is crucial as our product portfolio continues to expand and diversify, as is often the case for a company the size of Autodesk and always bringing on new acquisitions.
Exactly. And third, we've gained flexibility in our security architecture. By being able to build custom components on top of GuardDuty, we can easily adapt and extend our security measures as new requirements emerge. This addresses a key concern from our leadership about future-proofing our security investments as well.
Yeah. Lastly, the flexibility, and this is a real crucial thing for us, right? Accelerated our timeline for the implementation. What we had been doing was talking with our service team with GuardDuty around the build out of these capabilities, and could we get that onto the product roadmap? And so that kind of left us waiting for additional feature releases coming from that service. With this, we were able to move forward at our own speed and implement this solution faster. It really put that back under our control. And that allowed us more time working with our product teams to conduct that implementation and really get this right for ourselves.
Yep. In summary, the solution not only meets our immediate security needs, but also positions us for long-term success in protecting our infrastructure and our customers' data. Balances the benefits of a managed service with the flexibility we need as a dynamic, innovative company. So our team is looking to standardize malware scanning in as many of our products as possible while maintaining operational efficiency. Teams have previously included forms of malware scanning into their products, but our goal is to bring all of them under an even higher standard with GuardDuty. So this project can potentially support thousands of diverse product teams, each with their own set of requirements, while Autodesk processes petabytes of information monthly, all tied to real-time design and collaboration workflows by our customers. And as one of AWS's largest customers, Autodesk is already building our products on top of their existing infrastructure. So this means a service like GuardDuty is perfectly positioned to support our cause by leveraging the existing infrastructure for scalability and resilience, along with their threat intelligence network that Rogan mentioned.
So this is actually one of the graphics that we drew up during a whiteboarding session when we were originally envisioning this, and kind of talking to the architecture of what we had. And as you can see, GuardDuty sitting there in the middle is part of what we have as this box for managed services. The S3 bucket, again here what we were targeting was URL scanning for malware in there. And we determined a couple of paths forward, a couple of options for us as to how we would go about this. Under option A, this was really that Autodesk would own that customized solution and build it out, take events coming out of GuardDuty, use Lambda as the parser, store it into DynamoDB, and kind of create their own repository for these links and understanding what their disposition was. Under option B, we would take events coming out of S3 and its bucket, and again, use a Lambda function here and submitting it to a third-party hosted solution. At the end of the day, while we're targeting option A here for our immediate need and this customization we're talking about, in the future, and as we continue to have new requirements, new security threats that we want to adapt to, we really do see we're probably going to have both of these options really kind of leveraged there, right? And there's going to be one that still goes off to hosted solutions, while there is stuff also owned by Autodesk itself. Anything to add there, James?
No, I think the important part of this is the scalability and being able to extend it in the future like we talked about.
Yeah, so as you can see here, I mean, again, using Lambdas, using DynamoDB, so we've still got those managed services that are going to scale with the needs that we have, even though this is more focused on specific areas of Autodesk, whereas GuardDuty and the malware is kind of overarching for the organization.
So as stated in our implementation approach, Autodesk needs to be flexible when it comes to product fit and requirements. This flexibility necessitates several operational insights, including security across diverse file types, managing performance, addressing false positives, and an ongoing partnership to level up these capabilities. One critical consideration in implementing GuardDuty malware scanning is the performance impact when scanning various file types. Smaller human-readable files like documents or PDFs require less processing power and time to scan, making them less likely to impact performance. Larger design files like CAD models are more complex and require more computational resources to analyze. So Autodesk has to ensure the integrity of GuardDuty scanning doesn't impact our product workflows involving larger files. And then false positives and negatives are always a challenge in malware scanning, and managing them effectively is crucial to maintaining operational efficiency. Autodesk product and threat and response teams are working together on any issues from incorrect file quarantine and reviewing and validating generated alerts to ensuring that legitimate threats are addressed promptly while minimizing any disruptions caused by false alarms. Performance optimization of GuardDuty's detections algorithms and feedback from these teams can help refine the accuracy of threat detection over time. And finally, an ongoing partnership can also add further capabilities for Autodesk proprietary file formats. This extension requires collaboration between Autodesk and AWS to ensure that GuardDuty scanning algorithms are optimized for these formats. By enabling GuardDuty to understand and analyze the file structures and contents of these types, Autodesk can ensure that all files within our ecosystem are adequately protected against malware threats.
All right, so let's talk about some of the key practices that made GuardDuty successful, again, for Autodesk's security strategy here. I have a couple, kind of more called out here on the slide, but just to highlight a few of those that I think were relevant for us. First, it was identifying where GuardDuty's core capabilities aligned with the needs of Autodesk and where we had gaps on those, what would be outside of those capabilities. The Autodesk team is always really good and always does a great job of kind of analyzing and doesn't give AWS a free pass when it comes to our software as just kind of being the incumbent there. So they looked at third-party services as well to make the most informed decision about what was going to give them the best foundation on which to build and get off to a running start with this. And we were lucky enough to have the better set of those capabilities, the better foundation that we could build on. Second, we embraced that hybrid approach that we're talking about by combining GuardDuty's managed services with the custom components that we're talking about. Together, we created a comprehensive solution that addressed the more specific requirements that emerged from this, that the leadership at Autodesk were looking for. And then third, we're always designing for scalability and the future needs. We're always kind of looking for that step ahead and trying to see around the corner and really kind of lay us for the potential of those future changes and adaptations. This implementation allows us to easily expand our security scanning capabilities across, again, that growing portfolio that Autodesk has here for its products, while maintaining the flexibility to adapt as security requirements evolve, and they definitely do evolve. So as mentioned, we plan on taking this further in the partnership and looking for support of proprietary file formats and cross-product collaboration. Those file formats are something that is specific to Autodesk, right? And so it maybe doesn't make sense in the GuardDuty portion of this because it doesn't apply to so many of our other customers, but we need to have that for Autodesk as well, and we've got that flexibility here. So key lesson for our experience is that the success comes from understanding our organization's unique needs and building upon, in this case, GuardDuty's foundations to meet them rather than trying to force fit a one-size-fits-all for what we're doing here. All right. So thank you for attending our lightning talk here. James and I were pleased to get a chance to speak with you all. If you want, you can reach out to us, after the session here, and we're pleased to share any deeper details that we can or talk about yours. I also have some stickers that we got for the Cloud Cop stickers. So I've got some free swag to hand out to folks who would like to collect those for their laptops. Thanks, everyone.